Right now, I'm saving multiple businesses over 10 hours a week by running automations on n8n for them. And I decided to record this video to show you some of the systems that I have built for them, so you can just go ahead and copy them into your own business. I'll share the real workflows I've built for my clients and hold nothing back. Everything from automating lead capture, lead nurture, even content creation. So let's get into it. So these are 5 ways that business owners automate anything. So the first one that we'll start off with is automated reporting. And there are 2 main sides to this. One is the internal side, and then the other is the external side. And the way the internal side works is pretty much this is automating reporting within our business. So what does this mean? So for example, let's say I reach the end of the month and I want to report over how everything is doing in the business. What I'd normally have to do is I'd probably have to go to my CRM, my project management system, maybe my email, and maybe 5 to 10 other sources to really see how my business health is doing. I check each one individually and get a little bit of information about my business based off those locations. Instead, what if I had a system that was able to take all those locations, compile it into one location, and then generate, using AI, a report that I could see at the end of every week? Not just that, but what if I could send that report to all my team members? That is what the automated reporting does internally. Right here, this is the automated reporting. We build this in n8n. And really what it will do is that it will grab information from your CRM, your project management system, your email, compile it all together using AI into one report that you can send out to your team. Now, what about the other side? How do we explain this external piece? External. Now, on the external side, it's the same idea. The only difference is that we're trying to gather information for our clients. Let's use this as an example. Let's say I run an ads agency. Some of the things that we might make for them deliverable-wise are things like scripts. We manage their ads manager, and we edit their videos. At the end of the month, what if we want to send them a report so they see all the work that we've done, right? A visual report that allows them to see the exact work that we've done so far. Well, it's really the same exact thing as the internal. We grab all of this information, put this into n8n, and then generate the report using AI. And then we can send this over to the client. Now, an automation like this might not be very necessary if you only have one client. I could just gather all the scripts, gather the ads manager data, gather the edits, put it together, type up a quick report, and send it to somebody. But if I have 10 clients, 50 clients, 100 clients, you can see where an automation like this can really speed up that process and cut down on that manual labor. Let's take a look at this as a real example. So I have here an n8n workflow that is built exactly for this. So you can see here that we have both the automated reporting for internal and for client. I have this monthly trigger at first at 9 a.m. So this is the first of every month. We're gonna get all the clients inside of Asana. Asana is a project management system. We're gonna pull that performance data, pull the data from the ad platform and merge that together into one source, and then use a AI report generator model to generate the report doc. Then we're gonna send that doc to the client. Now, one thing to note, this piece here, where we're talking about context, we're not limited to only this. We're able to add as many pieces of context that we want to make the report as good as possible. Next, there's the second piece. So this is the internal one. So on a weekly basis, we're gonna get the clients again from Asana, get all the client related tasks. So we're gonna pull subtasks from the one task per client. We're gonna group all of those tasks by team member and then send an internal reminder, just a quick report of all the tasks that each person needs to do within our organization. Both automated reporting, one for external and then one for internal. And then here I can show you an example of a external report that went out to a client, and we replaced some of the client data to make this more to protect their privacy. But you can see we have an executive summary, we have key metrics, so we have KPIs that show their ads data, we show what's working, what's not working, and as well as next month's focus. So we're able to send this report out to the client so they know what's happening. So automation number 2 is AI content and copywriting. Honestly, this is the category of workflows that gets clients most excited because a lot of people don't like writing or creating content. This can mean generating things like ad scripts, email copy, landing pages, and even long form content. The reason why this works is because n8n manages all the data routing and moving things around while AI does the actual generation. So how does this look like? So for example, what if we want to generate content? So first we're gonna need to start off with the trigger, and this trigger is going to be just providing context. So we might start this trigger off with something like a form. This form will ask questions based off the content that we want to create. This trigger will then go into different locations that provides more context about the content we're trying to create. So in this case, the simplest one is a brand sheet, right? We might have a brand sheet that we want to reference. Or maybe we have a CRM if we're trying to make content about our KPIs or our one clients. Or maybe we're trying to connect to past copy. So we have a reference for the AI model. Then we take all of those pieces together of context and we merge that into one, and then we send this to our AI copywriter. This AI copywriter could be trained based off other context, or it could just be a simple prompt. But the beauty of this type of thing is that the goal isn't to automate all of copywriting. The goal is just to get a template so we can make it faster. So what this piece here is that we actually create something that's a human in the loop. That way someone can actually QC or quality check the work before we move it on to the next stage, which is publishing. Let's take a look at an example of this. So here is a workflow where, again, you can see that the trigger's the form, and I can show you how this looks. If I execute this form here, you can see that a simple form comes up. What's the client name? What's the content type we're trying to make? What's the topic or angle we're trying to generate for? Target audience, and a CTA goal. After we fill out that form, in this case, we're going to pull CRM for context to make content about clients, as well as have a sheet where it shows all of our brand guidelines. So this could come with the tone of voice, this could come with colors, this could come with the length or how we sound. We merge this context together, and this piece is just a router to decide which content generation we're actually doing. So in this case, if in the form I said I wanted to create an email sequence, I would pick email sequence, it would generate an email sequence, and then it would save to Google Docs. Notice, this is save a draft to Google Docs. This is not anything that actually goes live or anything like that, at least not yet. This is that's something that you can add later down the line, but it's not necessary right now. And lastly, you'd send a Slack notif to let whoever notice that the automation is completed, and they need to go check the document to see if it's actually worth publishing. So here is an example output that we got from this. We got a 5 email nurture sequence from here. Email 1, welcome and pattern interrupt. Email 2, education and authority, social proof, risk reversal, and final soft close. So you can see it created a full 5-step email that's not perfect, but it allows us to go in and build it more efficiently because we're not starting from, ground zero. Now, let's move on to the next one. And this is one of the most important ones, and it's honestly the one that we've built the most for our clients. This one is lead capture and CRM sync. Now, the reason why this is such an important automation is because if you were a business that is growing and scaling, you probably are flooded with leads. When you're flooded with leads, the most important source of truth within your business is your CRM. In order to keep your CRM nice and updated, we want to build an automated process that takes leads from your acquisition source and puts them into your CRM in an organized fashion. That way, your CRM can remain a source of truth without you manually copy pasting everything over. What we've seen so many times again and again is a client has an acquisition channel, let's say it's Instagram GMs, and they see the DM and then they take the name of that person or the IG or handle, whatever, and then they copy paste that into something like a sheet. Now, if you only have one DM, that makes perfect sense. But tell me, what happens if I have Instagram DMs and I'm getting like 10 a day, and I'm also getting YouTube comments, so people booking calls from YouTube, or let's say I'm running paid ads as well, and those paid ads are getting booked calls, or let's say I'm getting referrals. As the amounts of leads go up, you start to suffer the consequences of having to copy paste everything. This is where lead capture and CRM sync automation really shines. So what it does is that it takes each of these acquisition channels, puts this into a lead capture automation, and it automatically grabs all of the data and puts that into your CRM. That's really the simplest way to explain it. Now, there's other things that happen, right? We have attribution, so we know which channels are coming from which. We can set up UTMs, so we know exactly what video or what ad was clicked or what Instagram post was DM'd on. But we also get different KPIs, like how many leads came in last week, or how many of those leads closed, and what is our revenue based off different attribution channels. So those are just a few things that come with having this lead capture that inevitably unlocks visibility within your pipeline. All right, so how does this actually look like? We have here lead capture and CRM sync. So in this case, we're working with a Typeform trigger, and really Typeform is just a place where you can fill out form data. So a lot of the funnels that we work with, people go into Typeform, or the funnel leads to a Typeform that allows people to fill out their information. We set variables based off that Typeform data, and then we check for the lead and close. Close is a CRM in this case. This could be whatever CRM you're on. Could be HubSpot, Salesforce, go high level. It really depends on what the stack you're already working on. This is a part just of how Typeform works, so we're gonna ignore that for this video. Let's say the partial submit's true, so that means it's a full. So we're gonna get the Calendly event. That means somebody booked a call, so this is a book a call funnel. Edit the fields. If the lead exists, this is mainly for deduplication. We're going to either update or create that lead. And again, these are, you can see the little bit of the post API call here. We're calling the create lead API within our CRM. Then we're gonna send a Slack message, hey, a new lead has came in. This is gonna help us with our speed to lead. We're gonna search for opportunities, which means the deal within the pipeline itself, not just the contact. So this first piece here, update lead, this is getting the contact data in. The opportunities, this is what actually puts the lead within the pipeline. So you can look at your pipeline, your Gantt chart, and see, did they recently book? Did they have their call? Has a contract been sent? Are they closed? We're actually able to see all the leads within our pipeline. And then you can see that if it doesn't exist, we create opportunity based off different filters. So yeah, a simple automation like this really changes the game. It allows you to skip all of the copy pasting that normally takes you hours per week. By the way, if you're a business owner and you want to know exactly which of these workflows could be implemented into your business and which ones would save you the most time and money, I do free automation audits where I go deep into your business to figure out where your real operational bottlenecks are and where AI and automations can really help. You can book one by clicking the first link in the description. Now let's keep going. All right, so the next one we have is automated follow-up and lead nurture. So once leads are now flowing into our CRM automatically, so again, you can imagine this, like let's say this is our lead capture bot and it's filling up our CRM. So our CRM now has all the information from our lead capture. We are going to set up a series of automated touch points that allows our leads to constantly get information from us to keep the emotion high and keep them feeling and understanding the reason why they booked a call with us or reached out to us in the first place. What I see with most business owners before they have an automation like this is that they tend to, let's say this is a lead, so a lead comes in, and what they do is that they tend to, oh, I'm gonna send an email here and say, hi, what's up? And then for a long period of time, nothing, and then the call comes. And this period of time between the lead all the way to the call, this could be like 4 days. And by the time the call comes, the prospect has already forgotten why they even booked a call with you. This is the reason why this follow-up sequence works so well, because most business owners, they either do it manually and waste hours sending follow-up emails, or they don't do it at all. Both are bad situations. So the way this automation works is pretty much we have a lead, and a lead opts in or books a call, and then the actual call date. And like I said, between these two times, there's about 4 days. Obviously, it could be faster depending, but maximum you should see around 4 days for these people booking out. You shouldn't let anyone go past it, and most people you'll see earlier. So I'm just gonna work with the maximum here. Just for example, let's say we want to create 4 touch points. What the automation will do is that across these 4 days, we're going to build out an email sequence. So this sends out an email here, this sends a second email, a third email, a fourth email, right? And these emails could be written as copy, meant for different reasons. You might have seen earlier in the video when I was showing the AI copywriter how it created an email sequence. You can use that email sequence for this. So it could be something like a welcome email, then maybe we want to send case studies, then maybe we want to send FAQs, and then maybe a reminder, like, hey, our call is coming up. In any case, no matter how many emails you're sending, you need to make sure you increase the number of touch points, but how do we do it efficiently? Let me show you the automation. So this is the automated follow-up and lead nurture automation. You can see here that we're starting off with a Calendly trigger. Calendly is where people book calls, so we're still assuming the book call funnel, but this works for anyone. We're gonna wait 5 minutes and then send out the welcome email. This is gonna just be, again, simple copy that welcomes them. Thank you for booking a call, or congratulations for booking a call. I'll see you there. A little bit of extra information depending on how you wanna write that copy itself. Then we're gonna wait a day, and we're gonna check the lead status. We're gonna see, has the call happened? Are they still in the pipeline? If they already booked that call, we're gonna stop the nurture. If not, then we're gonna start just sending emails across multiple days. So we have the case study email, the framework email, the mistake email. And then we can even add pieces like this where we personalize the email. In this case, this is a final personalized email, but every email could be personalized. It really depends on how you want to implement it. But you could see really just off of this alone, this takes no effort regarding sending out emails. It will significantly improve your show rates. And whenever they show up to the call, they're actually educated because of the content that you've been sending them. Let's move on to the 5th one. Now we have client onboarding. So now we are taking the leads, automatically putting them into our CRM. We're spamming them with emails to increase the touch points, increase the show rate. They hop on a call, you close them. What do? What happens is an onboarding process is normally very long. There are a lot of complex steps between when they sign all the way to the end, when they become a normal client. Onboarding is one of the tasks that take so many hours per client, simply because there are so many pieces to the process, even though it's just a simple process, right? We might have different examples. So like, let's say here we have a close. So somebody closed the deal. What different steps do we have? Maybe we want to send a welcome email. Maybe we want to go ahead and add them to a Slack channel. Maybe we want to send them an onboarding form. Maybe we want to assign a team member. Maybe we want to create a project, in the project management system, and so on and so forth. There are so many possibilities when it comes to an onboarding process, and every step is hours upon hours that your team is wasting simply because they have to do it so many times. Now again, just like every other automation, and you're gonna see this repeat over and over, if you only have one client, just do this manually. There's no point in having an automation. But if you're closing 10, 20 clients every single week, even every single month, this automation will save you 5 to 10 hours across every week. So let's see how this actually looks like in practice. So this is the client onboarding automation. You can see here that we have a webhook that procs it. This webhook pretty much is placed in any app. So pretty much the webhook is placed in any app that allows this automation to trigger. So this could be a button inside of our CRM. This could be a form that triggers the webhook. It really depends how it is built for your business. Then we're gonna grab deal details. Again, this is a HubSpot module, so this is pulling from the CRM. Then we're gonna set client variables. In this client's case, we have a very simple onboarding automation. We only needed to create a client folder inside of their drive. We created an internal record within our project management system, and you could see we added them to the Slack onboarding channel to let somebody know that an onboarding process has started. Then we sent them out a welcome email. We waited 2 days, and I want to note inside of this welcome email, there was a client brief that we needed them to fill out. We searched, did that client brief come in? So this was sent through another automation. We check it. Did the client brief come in? Does it show in our project management system? If not, so this is this filter here. If not, send a reminder email. If they did, create an AI personalized plan by taking their brief and then post that plan to Slack, let whoever team member who was assigned, and let them know that this process has been completed. So those are the 5 automations that we built for businesses that help them automate and save hours upon hours every single week. You have automated reporting, AI content and copywriting, lead capture and CRM sync, automated follow-up and lead nurture, and lastly, client onboarding. Now, these 5 workflows are the most common ones, but everyone we work with ends up with a unique set of automations based off their current bottlenecks. So if you want to figure out what your business could be automating right now, click the first link in the description and book a free audit call with me. On the call, I'll go through your entire operation and find where the most time is leaking and show you every opportunity across automation and AI. Again, you can book a call using the first link at the bottom of this video. And if you want to see me build a full sales dashboard, you could check out this video right here.